people who got bullied their whole life. How are you now? Master Debater said. Got bullied till last year. Due to the lockdown, I've been finally able to grow a bit and to kind of find friends. Well, now 1 year without being bullied, I have a girlfriend and few close friends. And I am glad. Very glad. And thankful. African Warrior 96 said. Same here. The attention you start to get is scary and out of the ordinary, and for me, when my ex-bullies see me, they are extra nice to me. Good thing I'm the bigger person both mentally and physically. I believe you are what I more than what those bullies made you to believe. Now let's go to the gym, my friend. I've got this peanut butter and chocolate protein shake which is to die for. DKR02 said. Not to pat myself on the back, but everyone says I'm a really nice person. I know why. It's because I don't want anyone to feel what I felt, all throughout every school year, from kindergarten to senior year, like I just wanted to run away from everyone and everything. I know the real reason why I'm nice. Most people don't. They just assume I've always been away, because they didn't know me in school. I don't interact with anyone that I went to school with, none of them. They are all out of my life. African Warrior 96 said. I can relate to this. My patience and temper have helped me get through many situations as an adult that many people can't handle. On the other hand, I don't express any emotions that are considered normal human behavior. For example, I didn't feel excited when I got my first job, didn't feel excited about losing my virginity, didn't cry when a family member died, and when good miraculous things happen generally, I just don't react. They just happen, I acknowledge them and move on. That's the one thing the bullies took from me. My expressions, but my sense of dark humor is on point. Win-win, I guess. King Banana 6,666,666 said. I hate people a lot still and don't enjoy going outside much either. It took me a long time to get out of that resentful mindset for women, and I have a girlfriend now, which would have been impossible a few years ago when I was still sexist. Exercise and some martial arts have helped me calm down a bit throughout the years, but I still face homicidal thoughts. I'm not sure what they mean, but I've always dreamed of taking revenge by killing all those that wronged me, or at least punching the shit out of them. Nerdy Birdie 83 said. Unhealthy coping mechanisms, distrustful of people in general. I can be triggered pretty easily. It's taken a lot of work not to be so reactionary to certain things. I come across as pretty cold sometimes. I'm really not. You just learn very quickly to never show weakness or tears when you're bullied, so it makes for a pretty fucky adult. I'd say I'm okay for the most part. I came out far better than a lot of other people in my situation, and things did get better when I left school, and thankfully I've never run into my bullies as an adult. Sirachi said. Sometimes I try and figure out what's wrong. Surely if people didn't like me for some reason I could change? But then I try to love myself more, be more assertive and confident. Then that comes off as cocky and aggressive. Sometimes I think my friends secretly hate me, but I try to be chill in social situations and pretend like I'm not ridiculously conscious all the time. Honestly, I'm just getting by and fighting any of these shitty thoughts, but at the same time I do miss feeling genuinely liked without worrying about someone talking shit about me or making fun of my personality and interests. It sucks when it comes from your family too. Feeling like you never fit in anywhere, or people leaving you all the time, really fucks with my mental health, and it hasn't been very good recently. Andy Keeter said. I don't really enjoy anything anymore, and my dreams have been forgotten about. Knowing all the bullies are having more successful lives than me after having brought me down just makes me angry. I've spent a number of evenings drinking by myself just to try and feel happy and not really caring if I die from alcohol poisoning. Sure, I did graduate from uni, pass my driving test and get a full-time job in the past year, but despite achieving lots lately I still feel miserable. Hatcake said. Angry and hostile. My patience is pretty much non-existent for bullshit and assholes. I hate the world. And I see the ugliness in others plain as day. I don't want or need sympathy. I am not a victim anymore. Being bullied all my life has made me cold. And hard. It has taught me to rely on myself and to treat everyone else as potential enemies. Hence I go through life with my head held high and my back straight. I am the nicest man you could ever meet. I can get you to open up to me and share your feelings. This is not because of any good in me. It's a defense mechanism. I am getting you to associate good feelings with me so you won't be a threat. Though if you don't appreciate my effort, I will disappear from your life, never to be seen again. And if you try being mean, I will school you in what actual meanness is. I didn't start out this way. But everyone has over several decades shown me explicitly that this world is not for the weak. And not for the kind. Only assholes survive. And so I have become an asshole. I don't let that side show much. Another defense mechanism. Never show your true face, but it is a constant part of me. Ouch, said. Just a quick one for all the victims of bullying on here. I see you all think you're not worth much and aren't this or that. You've been made to believe that by others and now you think it yourself. Take it from me, a stranger who has never and will never meet you. I speak on behalf of a lot of people on here and saying you're worth it. Your life is worth it. You're better than them. You can fucking do it. Whatever it is, you can fucking do it, so go get some. Peace and love, peace and love. Jtenka said. Being bullied all through school and college forced my life to change for the better. I ended up taking up boxing 15 years later. I've won titles at 3 weights. The discipline, self-motivation and clean lifestyle means I'm healthy. The core skills I've adopted transferred over to my job. I earn a comfortable wage and my relationship has been a dream for the last 5 years. My partner also is really career-driven and was a karate instructor. The bullies, on the other hand, one is in prison for robbing a taxi driver. The other is still living in a rough estate after trying a local rap thing. I feel quite sorry for them in hindsight. Femboy Hooter said. It wasn't my whole life necessarily, but middle school and junior high was absolutely dreadful. I didn't have any friends in HS, but at least people left me alone. I'm deeply afraid of a lot of things and push people away as much as possible, even if I actively try not to. Haven't had a relationship because of it. I'm a fairly good-looking lad, so I get plenty of attention from the opposite sex, but I just assume that people don't like me and that no one would ever be interested once they actually get to know me. My poor social skills only reaffirm that idea because I'm usually awkward after first impressions. Therapy has slowly gotten me out of the rut I'm living in. Quasno said. Quite successful in terms of measurable outcome. I've got wonderful friends, a really sweet girlfriend, a well-paying job, above average physique. But I still bear the wounds and scars. Still insecure as fuck. Still very cynical, still very much on guard interacting with other people. Still very reclusive. Still struggling with anxiety and bouts of depression, although not as severe as in the worst times anymore, yay. Sometimes, very rarely though nowadays, still suicidal. Bullies inflict pain and wounds that fuck up the people they bully for the rest of their lives. I don't know if they know, or intend to, but they do. Hanshu101 said. Alive, fucking barely. I have thought of suicide multiple times. Got family issues. ADHD unofficially diagnosed, so no one treats me like I have it. So I am depressed and my parents don't know. The only reason why I am alive RN is for my 5-year-old sister in the hope to find the love of my life and realize my dream of owning a business as big if not bigger than Microsoft. It is similar to Microsoft. I'm constantly disappointing my parents on a daily basis and I hate myself a little bit more each day. It's a pain in the fucking ass. And the one person who could have a crush on me and me back to her. Our relationship is too weird for society. I want help and I recently reached out to Kids Helpline last week and it helped out a lot. I keep reminding myself that everything I ever wanted will happen and things will get better. If this is my worst, then I cannot wait for my best. I am probably not the worst on this thread and I drink whether I am or not, but it will get better and things will turn out soon. Good luck, and Godspeed. Jesus of Nazareth said. Well, anxiety, insomnia, personal insecurity and self-depreciation will never go away. But I'm doing great now. I was bullied through middle school, high school and some of university. I'm 33 now, but it wasn't until just recently that I found out why I'd always amaze myself at going out with girls I thought out of my reach. Because I had to work on my chatting skills immensely, since I'm also an introvert. But not feeling attractive actually helped me back then now that I think about it. Because I put a lot of effort into learning things, not only stuff to talk about but things I could do. I learned English on my own and I'm actually a professional interpreter now, translator. I read a lot, so now I write stories people are interested in listening to, also have a successful podcast in my country. I edit the thing. I can program a little bit. I know it's easy for me to say this. And I honestly don't know why being bullied made me want to improve myself instead of dragging me down. But having so much time on my own helped me develop attitudes and aptitudes I'm living off of, and I use them to help and entertain people. It's still a struggle going live, editing my own voice, still find it hideous, and socializing gets me so exhausted in just minutes. But my mentality has always been it ain't gonna happen on its own. I hope it helps somebody. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 9 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1 0 except I got bullied a lot in middle school, high school, and even got bullied a bit in my late teens and early 20s. It severely fucked me up. Now I have bipolar disorder, major depression, and PTSD. I still have flashbacks and nightmares to my worst bullying episodes. Wish I could overcome it, but I can't. Oof, Meg said. In Houston a couple years back, there was a case of a retired man who looked up his high school tormentor and shot him dead, a good 50 years later. He said he waited until his kids were grown to settle the score. Bullying sticks with you your whole life. If I'd have been on this man's jury, I would have been sympathetic. Captain Inevitable said got bullied from 5th grade till I graduated school. It really affected me, my self-esteem, ability to make relations with others. Now I'm in college. Most of the kids didn't know me from school or any other place, so I decided to change everything. It really helped me and now I'm really happy. Gloomy Illustrator said. I got bullied in school for 8 years. Beaten up, called gay act. Just because I wanted to be whoever I wanted. Like, having long hair, I am Malay, dressing goth style and so on. After school I ended up in a job I hated for 10 years. I didn't even realize it's not normal to hate his own job. In between I had some really toxic relationships I couldn't checked out because of low self-esteem. With 25 I found someone I would call my soulmate. She helped me a lot with my self-hatred. And all the stuff people tried to tell me. With 26 I started a training to become a nurse and now on September 7th I am going to finish it. I am in therapy and pretty well doing. I'd say. Nursing school was dope, because now I've been able to experience a good funny and nice school life and even found some friends too. I am 28 now. That's the story, hope you liked it. Hanshu101 said. Alive, fucking barely. I have thought of suicide multiple times. Got family issues. ADHD unofficially diagnosed, so no one treats me like I have it. So I am depressed and my parents don't know. The only reason why I am alive RN is for my 5-year-old sister in the hope to find the love of my life and realize my dream of owning a business as big if not bigger than Microsoft. It is similar to Microsoft. I'm constantly disappointing my parents on a daily basis and I hate myself a little bit more each day. It's a pain in the fucking ass, and the one person who could have a crush on me and me back to her. Our relationship is too weird for society. I want help and I recently reached out to Kids Helpline last week and it helped out a lot. I keep reminding myself that everything I ever wanted will happen and things will get better. If this is my worst then I cannot wait for my best. I am probably not the worst on this thread and I jerk whether I am or not, but it will get better and things will turn out soon. Good luck, and Godspeed. They're all dildo experts said. After high school it came to an end for the most part. I still don't know why. People always call me stupid, think blonde bimbo, based on the way I looked, and it was because I always had questions. It hurt very badly, and it still does today. I now have pretty intense fears of not actually being smart or good at things, and it prevents me from going for things that I know I should go after. Sometimes as a defense mechanism I play into the dumb blonde trope, and other times I use it to my advantage. I ended up secretly going to college to test my smarts and I can proudly say fuck those bullies. I have a 3.98 GPA. When I finally came out to my family that I was in college, the saying that kept going around was we never thought she'd go to college. Huh. Every now and again people will very clearly call me dumb, like my old boss saying I thought if you went to college you're supposed to be smart or it's clear you're a true blonde. In response to questions I have, which makes me regress. At worst I'll self-deprecate to please this idea that they have of me since I became too tired to convince people otherwise. They're all dildo experts said. I've learned to listen to these things, take them in, inspect the words and let them pass, take note of who I need to cut out of my life. It's funny because some of the smartest people I know recognize my intelligence and compliment it frequently. They'll even call me out for my regression and tell me that I'm better than that. It is a struggle on a day-to-day basis having people think you're dumb just because of what genetic code you were given. People always try to give me advice, explain things to me, help me do tasks, but they never ask me if I already know something. I now have this saying, it's easy to become who you're told to be, and I now understand the importance of surrounding yourself with people who see and speak the best of you. I can say I'm pretty successful in life now, especially with my partner and my dog. The best part about all of this? What sparked the idea that I actually do know my stuff is from a dang old Simpson episode where Lisa dyes her hair so that people take her seriously. Next Championship 99 said, I'll probably delete this later, but being bullied turns me into a monster. I'm physically intimidating to most people because I started lifting at 15 and never stopped. I'm very cruel, very quick-witted and smart. I can burn someone to the ground intellectually on a moment's notice. Obviously narcissistic. I can't be physically intimidated and my feelings can't be hurt because I don't have any. You can say anything to me and it won't matter, but I'll find your weakness and expose it. I'm a laid-back guy who everybody likes, but man, there is a dark demon deep inside of me that comes out if you even begin to bully me or anyone else around me now. Durian and Pizza said, every day I'm having to convince myself to put it all behind and focus on improving for the future when the bullying has caused me a great deal of poor self-esteem, low self-worth and social deficits. I don't think anyone even wants to talk to me. It feels like I've nothing to give but flaws. I feel suspicious of any friendly interaction. It feels like my colleagues who are nice to me are doing so out of some ulterior motive, not because I'm worth being around. I'm trying so damn hard to get better at socializing and convincing myself against the bad thoughts, but a lot of the time I'm met with evidence against me. The worst part is I really like people, talking and hanging out, but it feels like others don't feel the same way. Fortunately, I'm far from suicidal. Just trying my damn hardest and getting frustrating results. Salmon Fat said, it kind of gave me motivation to help out others I see being bullied. Now I am an adult, I have lost a lot of weight and put on a bit of muscle. I have shaved my head and people often comment that I look a bit intimidating these days. When I started college, I noticed a guy who would bully some of the nerdy kids. I made it my mission that year to bully the bully until he stopped doing things like that. It actually worked pretty well, and I didn't really feel any remorse for it. Meat Meal said, good, all things considered. I'm not shy. I drink too much and I'm an angry woman, but I don't hate myself or anything. I learned in my late teens that nobody's gonna give a shit about me but me, and if I don't have my own back and my own love, no one will. When there's no love inside me for me, it's going to be filled with others' hate for me. I have friends and a healthy love life, but I've always felt a little shallow, emotionally. I didn't used to be. As a teen I was a regular drama queen where first love was the deepest, the first heartbreak the most brutal, and my wrath was, well, like teen wrath tends to be, odd and aimless. But I don't really get attached to people. I've had to accept some truths about people. That everybody's got a fucking story, everybody's hurting, and most people don't know how to deal with their pain without hurting others. And that people come and go. And that most people are happiest when they've got someone to follow, someone to walk beside, and someone to drag behind their truck. So honestly, my childhood experiences were brutal, and after a while, for a while I started giving as good as I got to and did my own damage to others. But that's just how people generally are, and my therapist said it best, I can do fuck all about how others treat me, but I can do everything about how I react. It kind of unlocked something in me. My own bullying pattern stopped because suddenly I realized that it isn't kill or be killed. That someone can terrorize me or try to beat me, but it isn't about me. They don't hate me. I'm just some convenient girl that had no caring adults around at the time, so no one was coming to rain down hell on my behalf. And I can't stop it from happening, but I do have control over what I do. And I don't have to be a chain in that angry link. Well, I still am. I'm a really angry person. I will always be marked like this, but I don't lash out with the aim to hurt someone to make myself feel strong. Just, very big mad on the internet, I guess. Living Employee 7735 said, I was bullied, badly, all through primary school, but it eased off during high school. I was still seen as a joke and lots of people didn't like me. I have pretty low self-esteem and have struggled with depression, but I can't wholly blame bullying for that. My home life wasn't a picnic, but apart from that I'm currently in a really good place. I have lots of friends, way more than I ever could have imagined when I was in primary school, and I often feel like people like me. Sometimes they tell me they think I'm really nice or say how glad they are to be my friend. It touches me in a way I can't even describe after so many years of having people just hate me. Sure, I'm still socially awkward and I'm sure plenty people still think of me as a weirdo, but the great thing about adulthood is people tend not to just go off first impressions or little flaws. There are assholes, yes, but most people I know tolerated my initial quirks and awkwardness enough to get to know me. I think I might have a touch of undiagnosed autism or something cause sometimes I can't gauge what, in general, normal behavior is, not big things like what's impolite or when someone is annoyed with me. More like I don't know how to be cool. I can't act in any other way than just being myself, but I feel like instead I just act like myself and if people don't like it well that's fine.